Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader, and it is Wednesday night, the 29th of February, leap year day. And the market had an interesting session today, certainly rolling over in the afternoon and maybe completing some head and shoulder top patterns, particularly on the NDX. The S&P also looks toppy, and we've been telling you about negative divergences and lack of confirmation from the technicals over the last couple of days. Maybe we're starting something on the downside here, so be very careful. Now, I'm going to go over some longs, but I'm also going to go over some ultra shorts and some shorts. Let's start out with an ultra short, only because it's alphabetical here. Hang on one second. Let me change this. Okay, GLL. That's what I want to talk about. Notice that gold and silver got hammered today with gold down 91, and the ProShares Ultra Short, the GLL for gold, went from 1482 to 16 and a half and closed at 1645. A terrific close, taking it out above the or across the 2-month declining channel top, above the 21 and above lateral price resistance. So some significant technical work today, with the volume being 4.3 million shares, the heaviest volume since September. That's almost what, 5 months. The stock now has a chance of moving up forward, and I think we get some follow through. Looking for a move to the 17 and so, well, for at least 17, 17 and a quarter, perhaps as high as 17 and 3/4 before we run into major resistance and fib retracement levels. So look for maybe a pop of about $1.25, maybe as early as tomorrow. We'll see what the market does tomorrow. Beyond that, secondary resistance, and my target would be up around that level, around 20. Stellar pattern on USHS. I just wanted to show it to you because of what, I mean, you don't get much stronger than this. And look at this pattern. It continues to trend higher, even with the 2 hits here one day, no follow through here, a day or so, and no follow through, and then right back up again. It's way overbought, vulnerable to the market. It could easily come down here, but I wanted to show you that with momentum where it is and closing at the high for the day, going away up 98 cents or 7.5%, you may see some additional upside before it's done, perhaps up towards 15 plus. ITT had a significant breakout today, going counter trend with the neckline of this basing pattern here broken, with a thrust of $1.60 or 6.85%, 10.2 million shares. The only day that had better volume was this big spike down day here. So we'll see if this is a significant break and we get any kind of follow through. If we do, targeting up around 27, 7.5 near term. Now the ultra short TZA had a pretty good day today. Let me show you what happened. While some of the other ultra shorts were making lower lows and all-time lows, the TZA is held in here for 3 weeks, nearly 4, almost a full month. And at this point, with multiple highs at 1961, 1962, and today's high being 1950, we could see a spike up, even breakout tomorrow. I believe it's trading above that in the aftermarket, and maybe get a run up into the, my next target right now is going to be close to 22 and then 26. Those are your targets for TZA. Real good action technically on CALL, ignoring the market again today, although it did back off from 21.16 and closed at 20.50. It was up 93 cents on almost 5% on nearly a million shares, and that's the biggest volume since this one day back here about 3 months ago, 2.5 months ago. So yeah, with the channel up here, we can very well see this do some additional upside work towards 24 and 3/4, 25 area. Let's say another 4 points or so possible. Low price BCRX is showing great relative strength as well, and you can see the sharp trend that's underway here, which will be very difficult to maintain, but there's your angle. And on the plus side, the top of the channel looks something potentially like that. So if in fact a parallel channel is existing here, you may very well extend this up towards 5.5. Nevertheless, it is short-term overbought, but it's broken out across key resistance. And any more intermediate target would be somewhere up around 590. NUS just stellar, and this one of my favorite charts for the year. Broke out of this trading range in January, moved up, and then consolidated during February, and then last couple of days of this month has popped from 53 to nearly 59 today. Now I had a target at the top of the channel around 61.2. May very well get to that before it backs off, but really looking good. A tad overbought, but momentum is strong. Ultra short BGZ. I wanted to show you this long declining wedge or falling wedge, and then the channel within the channel. Look at this wedge in here. Today it had an important maybe reversal day, making a new low at 21.65 and closing at 22.42. Now volume was 2 million shares, not bad, but not terrific. Let's see if we get an upside follow through. My target would be about 23.75 for starters. Should we get up through this key declining tops line at lateral price resistance? Next target is 26. Another stock on the long side has been acting great, made new all-time highs today in the face of the declining market. Got up to 53.10, closed at 52.47, up 89 cents on 1,000,003. But more importantly, it broke out through key resistance and may very well head up into the low 60s. But again, market pressures may prevent that. The FAZ made a new all-time low today and then reversed. It only closed up 36 cents or 1.4% today, but 22 million shares traded, 22.2. That's the heaviest volume going back to beginning of the month. And perhaps this reversal can get some follow through. We're all going to monitor this one to see if and when or what it can do with resistance at Monday's high of 26.65. That would be the immediate target up around this range. But through 27.25 or so is where I get much more interested in it, with a target of about 30. And lastly, the TVIX, which intrigues me because of the spike up here and then a pullback in a falling wedge type pattern. Note the overall pattern here looks like a wedge. And look at the narrow range for the last 4 sessions. Quite unusual, but note that the volume had come down until today when it started to increase on the reversal. So I'll be watching this one carefully to see if it moves up and can take out my first target of 20.5, my second target of 25. Let's move over to the short side. World acceptance looks pretty toppy to me, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and if it gets down below, say 63, which it's close to doing today, we may see this start to fall apart. And my first target is 59, my second target is 54.5 range. First Solar is a complete disaster, completely falling apart. Then another 4 today. When it broke that level, it hit the bottom of the channel today, the short-term channel, but the big channel that's in play here indicates we may see this stock down towards 20 before it's over. OPNT, well, a massive top is forming, and the stock is gapped here and formed a little bear flag, and today dropped 76 cents or 2.5%, but you can see that it's already taken out the double bottom from August and last week's lows, and if it continues lower and takes out this 28 area, we may see it fall into the mid-20s, if not lower. Gardner Denver, one of my favorite shorts, with the head and shoulders to break down the rising flag, and then it breaks down from there, then formed a little wedge here that was broken today with a drop of 298 or more than 4%. This one looks like it may be falling apart as well, and we could very well see first mid-60s and then low 60s. JDAS, we put this on our box of shorts list when it spiked down and then formed the bear flag. From 30, it dropped down to 24. Then it spiked back up to resistance at the bottom of that pattern and the 5th 20-day moving average. Note that the pattern that's forming here appears to be a declining channel and a sharp one. And we may very well see this stock fall towards the bottom of this channel and key resistance, support down around 22.5 or so. That's my short-term target. Runner Center, this stock looked like it was rolling over and then started to pull back in this bear flag, and then today spiked down 87 cents. Not a big fall, but it looks like it may be reversing here. So keep an eye on whether or not it breaks down below 34.5 or so. If that occurs, you can easily see a quick test of this 32.5 level, and then it's time to fall apart. ANF, Abercrombie and Fitch, I've been negative on this all year. The triple topped here, gapped lower, gapped again here. Finally, the third gap was a little bit of an exhaustion gap. All it did, though, was snap back to resistance and begin to roll over, and today it was down 201 or 4%. I think it retests the lows at 39.575. So look for something around, say, 40 for a 5-6 point gain on a retest, if not lower. The last day is OPNET. Also quite sloppy. Gapped here, gapped here. At this point, after breaking this key line across here, you can see it plunged through it and reach secondary support near this double bottom, and now making lower lows. This could fall apart quickly here and move into the mid-20s if not lower. That's it for today, both long and short ideas. Take it easy. Be careful tomorrow.